when I was a kid, my mum and dad used to take me to this local place to serve this really nice chocolate-covered soft ice cream. Really liked that place, especially because they had a sitting area where they had a Donkey Kong arcade cabinet, and I would just take my ice cream and run in there and start feeding coins into that machine. Meanwhile, my parents would sit behind me and watch as their weekend slowly melted away, together with my ice cream next to me, of course. I love the game so much that a couple of years later, when I've got my first computer, my ZX Spectrum, I tried to make my own version of the game in Spectrum Basic. And you're actually looking at it right now because I actually found it on one of my old tapes and it actually loaded. Quite amazing. And I'm not sure what that thing on top is. It certainly doesn't look like Donkey Kong, more like someone steamrolled Popeye the Sailor or something, I'm not sure. And as you can see, the game doesn't work, and I never finished it. I was absolutely rubbish at coding, so I could not figure out how to do this properly. But I tried at least. But let's rewind time a bit to a point before I actually butchered Donkey Kong on the Spectrum. In February 1984, I stumbled across a Swedish gaming magazine called Joystick. And in this particular issue, they published a type-in game called Hardhat Climber. And this seemed to be like a Donkey Kong clone, so I got pretty excited. And the game was for the VIC-20, but also was a version for the Commodore 64. And I was of course expecting a fully fledged arcade game on the VIC-20, which of course wasn't the case. This game had practically nothing to do with Donkey Kong, but hey, I didn't know that. So I was really excited and brought the magazine to school and started typing away on the school's VIC-20. And I typed and I typed and I typed and I could never get this damn game running. I remember still to this day all kinds of weird error messages and problems, and I just couldn't figure out what was wrong. I probably did something I shouldn't have done. I don't really remember, but it didn't work. So I thought it's about bloody time that I have a look at this game. So I actually managed to find this game online, so I didn't have to type it in, thank God. And this game was actually initially published in the American magazine Compute's Gazette in January 1984, I think. And I'm not entirely sure how this listing ended up in a Swedish gaming magazine. I presume that they actually bought American articles and such and just translated them into Swedish. But anyway, I got to download the game from the internet, both the VIC-20 version and the Commodore 64 version, so you're gonna be able to enjoy both versions, I hope. So here we are, face to face with my old nemesis, Hardhat Climber. So I read in Compute's Gazette that this game isn't entirely written in BASIC. Apparently there's some machine code handling the joystick controls or something like that. So did not know that. And yeah, let's not delay this. Let's instead run the game. And I have just quickly tested this to see that the controls work. So yeah, I know how it kind of works, but I haven't played it very much. So let's find out if this is any good for realsies. Yeah, as you can see, this is not really Donkey Kong, is it? There's barrels, and there's, what do you call it, girders, and ladders, and yeah, that's about it. There's no princess to save. And you're supposed to collect what looks like... oh shit, I think I just lost a life there. You can't fall any distance at all. Yeah, you're supposed to collect what I think looks like handbags, but I think it's toolboxes. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not easy jumping. Oh, level 2, oh joy. And I do believe the controls, the levels are randomly generated, which is kind of interesting, I suppose. And the game looks, okay, I guess. It's not amazing. I would say that the other game we had a look at before, last episode, actually looked better than this. But you know, it's a VIC-20 game. What do you expect? I got the last handbag. Oh joy! Or toolbox, I mean. And the controls are a bit finicky, and once you die you just have to rerun it. I don't think there's really a lot of memory left in the VIC-20 now, because this is running on an unexpanded VIC, so I don't think, maybe there's not enough memory to restart the game. I don't know. Let's try it one more time, just because I want to enjoy this. Yeah, as I think I was saying, but I didn't finish what I was saying, the controls are oversensitive. It's very easy to jump several times without wanting to. Let's just find out what happens if I just let all the barrels disappear here. I can just stand there. The barrels will never get to me. There's no fire coming out of that barrel like it was in, in Donkey Kong. That's going to come after you and climb up the ladders. Nope! It's just, you can stand here until the game runs out of barrels. I'm not sure what happens, so let's find out. Maybe something amazing happens. The game crashes or something like that, maybe? Oh, I think I lost a life because I waited too long. Well, that's interesting. So there's kind of like a... Oops, what? Not sure what happened there. So there is kind of a time limit for this game. It's simple, but I play crap anyway. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing this much longer. It's not really great. Would I have liked this back in the day? Well, maybe not too much. And I don't know why I am pushing right and I'm jumping left. Not sure why that happens. But yeah, I probably would have been a bit disappointed with this game, to be honest. There's no Donkey Kong to be found, and honestly, it's a bit simple. But hey, it's a VIC-20. What can you expect? Well, I did kind of expect a lot more back in the day, of course, because I had no idea how this worked. So let's have a look at the Commodore 64 version before we end. Alright, here we have the Commodore 64 version. It looks pretty much exactly as the VIC-20 version. The controls are a bit weird because if I press diagonally up either direction, he will jump. So slightly improved controls, I suppose we could call that. Not entirely sure. We still collect these handbags. And I still can't fall any distance, and I've only got one life, so that was a bit more difficult, I have to say. It looks pretty much exactly the same. I think the graphics are exactly the same, and just looks a bit smaller because of the higher resolution on the Commodore 64, I presume. There's also something interesting going on with the colors here. Anything a barrel touches turns black, it would seem. I'm not sure why. Strange indeed. So, not the greatest of games on the Commodore 64 either, I have to admit. Oh, I died again, what a shame. And I can't say that I would have been terribly excited about playing this game on the Commodore 64 either. So, oops, I'm not sure. Yeah, I keep hitting diagonals when I don't want to, and I keep jumping. Let's see if I can jump a barrel. If the barrels aren't avoiding me all the time. Come on, barrels. You can do it. You can do it. You can find me. Come on, come on, come over here. I want to... Okay, maybe not then. Oh, no, don't go that way. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I jumped, but I don't think I got any points for that either. That's a shame. Let's see if we can get to level 2 and see if there's anything interesting happening there. I don't think so. Slightly different sound effects. And we have a broken ladder. That's a new feature, I think. Unless, of course, it's a bug. Let's go up and see if we can actually climb this. No, we can't. And again, I can't fall any distance, so I die when I try to jump off the ladder. Yes, not the greatest of games, I must admit, but I didn't really expect it to be that amazing, did I? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this peek at these two old games, and thanks for watching and all that stuff, and see you in the next video. Cheers!